17 coming up on the weekend in Super League, and the first game Friday 8 p.m. on Sky, or Saturday morning at whatever time for yourself.
That's all right.
It's Castleford versus Huddersfield. So can Cass continue that winning record after beating another top four side last week, or will Huddersfield be too good as they have been for many opponents this year? What do you think will happen in this one?
After watching Huddersfield, maybe because I didn't see Castleford play, but after watching Huddersfield, I think it's got to be them. You like to give by something, which I don't understand being Australian, but let's say Huddersfield by 8.
I've written down Huddersfield by 8 as well. Look, Cass are decent at home. We've talked about this before, and clearly they'll be buoyed after last week. But Liam Watts, big player, missing for them. Huddersfield, they'll be missing Ricky Latelli, but it gives them a chance to give Toby King his debut. And Huddersfield are just better right now. So for me to predict Castleford to win this game, Castleford needed to be the side that was higher up in the table. I'm going Huddersfield. Saturday, a few games on Saturday this week. Saturday, 3 p.m, Hull FC versus Leeds. Really tough one to call, this one, isn't it? Because both sides had their problems last week. We know Hull FC won't have Gale, won't have Connor, certainly won't have Reynolds. So it's a question of whether they'll have any attack. And then with Leeds, it's a question of how they can avoid cards and more bans and stuff. I'm really unsure on this one. I'm going to do a mental coin toss. I'm going to just fall on the side of the home side and say FC by 2. But the fact that I'm saying it's FC by 2 means I'm not confident either way. What about you?
Yeah. I saw enough from Leeds against Saints to think that if they were up against that Hull FC that played Warrington, that they could put a bit more points on. I think Leeds might win. Maybe I'll go Leeds by 4.
Good stuff. Okay, 5 p.m. on Sky, 5 p.m. UK time, Catalans versus St. Helens. This is not quite a top of the table clash now, with Catalans down to 4th, but if Catalans have got any designs on recapturing their league leader shield, they need to win this one. So I'll let you go first on this one. Let me know what you think, Catalans or St. Helens. You don't have to give me a margin if you don't want.
No, I'll give you a margin. Don't worry. Let's say St. Helens by 6.
Yeah, I've got Saints by 10. I just think Saints are in better form at the moment, and so it's hard to back against them. They started, like David was saying in his match review, they started to get their combinations together in the spine, replacing Dodd, but Wellesby stepping up, and like we knew he would. So yeah. Saturday 8 p.m, Toulouse versus Hull KR, the first of a run of big games for Toulouse that certainly will decide their season. And Hull KR will be without a few key players, and Toulouse might have been targeting this one. I really, against my better judgment, I'm going to go Toulouse. Toulouse by 12.
See, I wanted to go Toulouse too, and then I just thought, will they? I just don't think they can beat them. I'm going to go KR by 12.
Yeah, sensible. Probably what I should have done, but I don't know. Maybe the romantic in me wants to at least have a relegation battle at the very least.
Yeah, well, you never know. I mean, they might turn up, and like you said, they look like they might have been targeting it. They were putting the queue in the rack for the game before, but yeah, I don't know. I just think KR have got just a little bit too much skill for them.
Yep. Okay, Wakefield versus Wigan, Sunday 3 p.m. I mean, I'm going to go pretty simply. I'm going to go for my Wigan boys. Wigan by 12. We never do great at Wakefield, but we should have enough to win. What about you? What do you think?
I'm Wigan's going to win. I just don't know what number to put next to it. I don't know how many zeros at the end of it. So, look, I think Wigan might win by 20 or 20 plus. I think they're going to win very easily. I just think there's something wrong at Wakefield. If Salford can do that to them, I think Wigan can do maybe not equal, but something quite bad. So, yeah, let's say Wigan 20.
And finally, also 3 p.m. on Sunday, Warrington versus Salford. I'll let you go first on this one with your Warrington side against the Salford side that will be brimming with confidence.
This is one of the ones where if you tip with heart, you just got to say Warrington. You tip with head, I think Salford's going to win. You know what? I'm only going to be on this podcast once. Let's go for Warrington. Warrington by 7.
I think it's a hard one to pick because Warrington's defence surely will stand up better than Wakefield's defence did.
Yeah.
But I can't sit here and say Warrington will outscore Salford. So I've got to go Salford, haven't I? Salford by 10. Women's Super League game of the week. We're going to go to Group 2 this week, and we're going to go Castleford versus Wakefield Sunday at 2 p.m. because this will be the chance for both teams to get off the mark. We'll get the first win of the season. So good luck to those sides in that local derby. In the Championship game of the week, York versus Barrow, Sunday, 3 p.m. That's one of the few games with two sort of top end of the table sides playing each other, but I'd expect York to win that one. No TV game this week because they've got 2 TV games the weekend after. They've got a Friday and Monday that week. Then League One game of the week, Cornwall versus Hunslet, Saturday at 1 p.m. on All League. Let's see if Cornwall can back up their first win and get a second win against a Hunslet side that, whilst they are clearly a better outfit than Cornwall are, they're not. I don't think they've been particularly convincing. They're the worst of the better sides, basically, Hunslet are this year. So yeah, we'll see what happens in that one Saturday, 1 p.m. Make sure you get your fan views in on all of those games and any more. I mean, I'm sure we'll hear from our old friend NRL Review of the NRL back next week, David. Wink.
Why are you talking to me about that? I have nothing to do with NRL Review at all.
Fair enough.
I'm very disappointed that International Review didn't get something in this week, but must have been busy.
Must have been busy, yeah. To be honest, I don't think we could have fit it in because as tends to happen when we get special guests on. We've run long, but it's because we want to share different views, and that's been your views this week. So all we've got left to do now is wrap up the show. You've got a quiz for us. I'm sure we're going to enjoy it, and then we'll get out of here. So we'll move on to the wrap up. Okay, David, to wrap up episode 347, you were very keen to do a quiz, and I'm very keen for you to do the quiz. So I'm very excited. Let's crack on with the quiz.
All right. So I have a quiz that is going to work very well for my Parramatta Eels-ishness. So basically, there's been 826 players have played first grade for the Eels since they joined in 1947 in New South Wales. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the Eels player number and information about them. Now, they all relate to what they did in the Super League. So these are all players that played Super League.
So like one of them will be Brett Kenny and one of them will be Bevan French and one of them will be...
Look, there's surprisingly a lot of ex-Eels in the Super League. Like just then, there's a heap of them. I've tried to keep them as modern as possible. There are pretty much every one of them but one actually played in the actual Super League. One of them I've thrown in just because it's an interesting little stat. But what I'll do is I'll give you the number. So the number is interesting. The number will won't tell you much, but if you're an Eels fan, tell you about what decade they've played in. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, let's go to it.
All right. So the first one's actually 2 people. So their numbers are 497 and 498. They're 2 brothers. One played 3 years for Leeds, and the other one played only a single year for Saints.
Okay.
We're talking early 2000s for these guys. 2003 and 4, I think, were the seasons.
I can think of a few brothers, but I can't think of any that played for those sides that are brothers. What positions?
So one of them would have been a fullback, and the other one I think played second row. I think one of them started out. I think they both started out in the backs, and one moved to the forwards.
Right, doesn't help me.
This is a tougher one. I gave you the tough one to start with.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
That's okay. It was Matt and Phil Adamson.
Okay, yeah. Didn't Matt Adamson end up playing in like the front row? Did he not play for Salford as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
he went from. I'm pretty sure he started as a winger and ended up at the front row.
Yeah.
So, and I think Phil did it. Phil was the same thing. But yeah. The next one is player number 619, so a bit more modern.
More modern.
He won the Man of Steel and the Albert Goldthorpe. He played for Wigan and Catalan.
Pat Richards.
That's it.
I didn't know he was an Eel, but
yeah, this is the thing. A few of these guys, you'd be like, "Oh,
he's on the Wigan mismatch."
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
He was an Eel first before he was West Tiger.
Okay.
Yeah. Next one is player 668. Played in Super League. Played in Super League for Sheffield, Huddersfield, Hull FC, and London.
Right. Played in Super League for Sheffield, but played for Parramatta after Pat Richards did. So did he play in Super League before he played for Parramatta?
Yes, he did.
Give me the teams again, sorry.
Sheffield.
Yep.
Huddersfield, Hull FC, and London.
Okay. And then went to the NRL.
Hmm. If it helps, he's actually an Englishman, so he's an English import to Parramatta rather than a other way around.
It doesn't particularly help, to be completely honest. Was it Chris Thorman?
Yes, Chris Thorman. That's it.
Excellent. Pulled that one out.
You did. So this is the old player. This person never played in Super League.
Okay.
So let's see if you can get this one. He played with Gary Hetherington at Kent Invicta and also played for Castleford.
What was his number?
Number 558.
I mean, it's before my time, so I'm not going to get it. But
no, that's okay.
What position did he play? How famous was he?
He was halfback. He was pretty famous. He played internationals.
The only halfbacks I can think of that played for Parramatta are very famous, and certainly I can't imagine ever played for Kent Invicta, and definitely didn't play for Cass, so I don't know.
It's Gary Freeman, New Zealand halfback.
Okay. I have heard of him, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this one will be interesting. He's not real known as a Parramatta player. He's player number 681. He played less than 1 minute for Parramatta in first grade. And I'm serious, he played 25 seconds. Then left Australia to play in 2 Super League stints, one for Bradford and one for Catalan.
Okay, so the player that I can think of that played for Bradford and Catalans is what's his name? Manly player.
Manly.
But I can't think.
Played,
yeah. But I can't. But I think he was a one team man for Manly, so it can't have been him. So,
this is a hooker, if it helps.
Oh, okay. Henderson.
Yep, Ian Henderson.
Yeah,
I was at the game when that happened. The team we were playing, I can't remember who it was, decided to go for a little short kickoff at the start of the game. He launched his body at the ball and ended up, I can't remember what injury he got, but he basically got a season-ending injury. And that was the only time he played for us, was that one.
Man.
5 seconds. Yeah. He was supposed to be like our next great hooker that we were bringing in, and that's what happened. So anyway.
He did a reasonable job later on in his career, didn't he? Didn't he play for the Warriors for a bit?
Yeah, he was a good player.
Yeah.
Like, he was really good, but we only got, 20 seconds is generous. I think you could say 2 seconds official time. I don't know what it was, but it was pretty bad. We were all very upset about it because, well, not so much for that, we were more upset for him because he'd been sort of toiling away trying to get into this team, and they finally got his chance, and then this happened.